All righty. We are live now, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. And I'm going to put it on, Ferris, can you put it on the group mode so we can see everybody in their jammies?
Yep.
I want to see people's jammies. And y'all, I have to tell you that these are over 20 years old, this robe. Probably when Gary and I first started dating. I don't know. I wear running clothes. I have so many shirts, running shirts, that's generally what I wear when I go to bed. So, you know, we usually do dozens of races a year. And so we have so many shirts that ends up being my jammies. So I wanted something a little nicer, so I dug this out.
Nice.
So it's so great to have everybody here. And of course, this is Energized Living Today. I welcome all of you on Facebook too. And this is my husband, Gary.
Hello, everybody.
And I wanted to make sure that we had a lot of men here because, you know, it's so important for us to know how to comfort ourselves and how to soothe ourselves when we're upset. And that can be through prayer, meditation, you know, doing your hair and your nails, which I did today, actually. And, you know, there's so many different things that you can do. And I want to hear your ideas today. So that's why we're coming together. Now, I said yesterday that I was going to post online some of the things that have been coming to me, but I'll tell you what happened. I've been taking the supplements that my nurse practitioner told me to take, but it was upsetting my stomach. So I decided to have some crackers. You know that I've been fasting, but I had some crackers, I thought, with just a little bit of avocado and some cream cheese. And I ended up having an anaphylactic reaction. And so my eyes, this eye just about closed up. This one almost swelled shut. My lips are still bright red. I have no lipstick on, and they swelled up real big, and my throat started to close up. And I have a husband over here that's experienced that many times. I've never had that happen. I didn't really understand what's going on, but I do remember from when Gary did, and then he said, take a Benadryl. And so I did, and that helped bring it down, but my lips are still a little sore. So I didn't end up going and posting because I was all blown up. I have never had a reaction to anything like that before. So it was pretty wild. So anyway, that's why I didn't get to post. So I apologize for that. And then today I was on with the doctor to find out if she knew, and she said, well, the crackers that I had are almond, and it's on my sensitivity list. And she said, it's very possible that you have gone full out allergic to almonds, unless it was the avocado, which wasn't on my list, and dairy's on my list, but I've never had a problem with cream cheese before. So we'll see. Process of elimination to find out what caused it. Anybody ever had that happen? You have? Okay, yeah. I just never have. So I've just seen Gary do it. Anyway, you know, what made me think of doing this is my granddaughter, Sarah, is teaching me about mothering like I've never known it before. I was not a natural mother. I was more, you can do it. You can do it on your own. Go do it. You know, you come and visit me and you're on your own. You're hungry? Go look in the cupboards. You know, I'm not that kind of person, but she is. And she is very nurturing, very loving. I mean, I'm very loving, but she's very nurturing. And she's reading all the books about motherhood. And one of the things that they teach you is about letting your baby self-soothe, self-comfort, and they will explore ways to do that. And Katie's way right now is to suck on her hand like that she has discovered. So when she cries for a little while and she notices that mom's not coming to rescue her, she is finding ways to entertain herself. The other way that she entertains herself is I swear she's singing. and she has this little noise that she makes, and that just makes her happy. And she just lays there, and Sarah was recording her today as she was making those little self-soothing noises. So each of us have a way, and it's innate in us to find ways that comfort us. And it's going to be different when we're little than it is, of course, when we're older. So today I want everybody to just raise their hand, and we'll just go through everybody, and I want you to share ways that you comfort yourself. And Gary, why don't you start off the conversation, because I know your way.
The one thing is, I was sitting here in bed, I realized we got a little satiny type edge here on our blanket here. And as a child, I would always rub that, and I had a blanket that I rubbed so much that it rubbed holes in it. And that's always been a self-soothing thing for me.
And you know what Lisa calls that? Her part blanket. Her part blanket has that satin on it. My sister, that she still carries, and she's 50, and she still carries her part blanket with her because that part comforts her still. So that's what you're talking about.
Right.
That's what you
That's right. That's right. And then my other thing is when I really want to relax and just get away from it, I've got 2 Indian motorcycles, and an Indian Scout and then an Indian Vintage. The Vintage is bigger, for longer rides. My Scout is for just kind of right in town. And we have an area that Cindy has an Indian Scout too. I'm sure she's probably told everyone. And we like to ride on the Natchez Trace, which is just outside of Franklin here. And it's it's actually a federal park that's a highway, and the speed limit is limited to 40 to 50 miles an hour. So it's just real comforting and just real soothing, and just a relaxing area. And just riding anywhere, it puts you in this freedom feeling of riding that just isn't matched any doing anything else. So that's what is always soothing to me.
Yeah, and I have to agree that, we go out there, and sometimes we'll just find a picnic table somewhere. We sit down and we just kind of talk about our hopes and our dreams. And when we were putting together our plan for the healing center, for the conscious living center, we went out there with our notebook and we took notes and put our plan together and stuff. And it's just a relaxing nature all around you. And it's so comforting. It's just so freeing and comforting. So I agree with that.
And a hike in the woods too. That's another thing that's really good. There was one time Cindy and I, we didn't go all the way down, but we hiked along the Grand Canyon, down the trails. We got maybe close to halfway down. We couldn't really go any further. But it was very soothing and go walking.
Yeah, because it was 100 and something degrees out. So we said, okay, this is enough of that. Yeah, you're right. Okay, who else would like to share?
Bernadette, go ahead.
I'm very good at self-care, I have to tell you. I'm probably the best because I love me more than anybody in the world.
As it should be.
And that's the truth, trust me.
I love it.
I said, I could date myself. If I want to go to dinner and a movie, if Mike's working, I take myself out. I am the best company for myself. I got to tell you, I love me. But I love my baths with all my essential oils, or just cuddled up in a blanket reading a good book. And if we're going to go out, we love to do jet skiing and boating. Jet skiing is that same feeling that you get on the motorcycle, just, the wind in your hair, and you're just all alone on the lake. And if we're in the boat, we get to a little cove or something, then we jump in and we have our little floater things that we lay on, and we just lay in the water and we don't do anything. We just play with the dragonflies, they'll come around and land on you. So you know, we love to do that, you know, of course, traveling, we love to travel. We're always traveling someplace, but just, you know, for self-care, for myself, it's like, I will take days off. I can work really hard. And then I'm just saying it's a me day, and it's just stay in my pajamas all day, do my nails, you know, whatever I want to do, paint a picture, just whatever shows up that day, that's what I'll do. And if it doesn't make me happy, I don't do it unless I absolutely have to. Good thing I love cooking, because, you
Yeah,
know,
that's also very
I
comforting.
love to do.
And I'll take
What does your husband do?
He works for Delta.
No, I mean for comforting. Same.
Oh, what does he do?
Yeah, well, he was starting to say something. I wanted to hear what he had to say.
motorcycle and boating. That's my favorite things. And go to an island and just relax.
Excellent. Excellent. So we get the motorcycle thing for sure.
Yeah. I'm not a motorcycle person. I told him, you know, feel free, go play with your friends. You can leave me alone. I'm fine by myself.
That's really great, because Gary and I will do that too. I don't mind if he goes off with his buddies. And
No, I think everybody should be happy, you know, just having their alone time. And
Mine
if
is in
we're
the garden.
together too much, it's like, okay, I need space, you know, go do something and leave me alone. Works great.
And Gary, I love Indian motorcycles.
That's his favorite.
That's one of my favorites.
The
Yeah,
Indian?
it's
Yeah.
The Indian.
I switched over from Harleys, and it was a hard thing. I'd always had Harleys, and this last year,
I don't know if you
switched
can
to
see
Indian.
that. There's mine.
A little bit.
Okay. It's not. Let me see if I.
Cindy, I think I saw a post with you on your motorcycle, or you guys,
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
with the motorcycles. I can show it to Mike later.
You've probably seen 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
We
I
have
mean.
fun.
So I'll show it to him
Okay.
once I pull it out.
All right. Okay. Who else would like to share?
Mary, you were going to say something?
There
First,
you are.
thank you again. And I'm so glad to see you, Gary, here with us tonight. It's very special.
I'm kind of lucky. I got off work early today, so I was able to.
Kind of lucky. I'm kind of thinking maybe us too. And you've been doing some really special work lately, I hear. So thank you for that.
He really has.
I've had an interesting couple of, like overnight with my kiddies, and conversations that we talked about yesterday on our call. And Bernadette, it brought through some stuff that you had said, and Pumpkin was saying it loud and clear to me. Listen to what we've, you know, and it was just, this is such a time to allow ourselves to be free and not be afraid. And yet to know that in our freedom, we always protect everyone around us. And that's kind of something that I think we've, in certain parts of our country, lost, and we're getting back. As people learn that they are on their own, they're protecting not only themselves, but each other with a respect and regard that brings everybody in. And so having these conversations like we get every day, checking in, is the most beautiful thing in the world.
Well,
And well, you know me, I can just, I'm so glad to see you guys. Thank you.
so glad to see you too. Thank you.
And Pumpkin.
And
Yes.
Pumpkin.
Yep.
Yep, he's going to be here, he says, about 6 more months, and then
Then it's out.
it's okay. I'm okay with it now.
Okay.
Thank you, though, thank you for recognizing him, Ferris. He absolutely loves you. He just looks into your eyes and goes, oh, there he is.
Look at him right there on the table next to you, Mary.
He's
Right there with a pretty face. Hey, baby. Hi.
Hi. Did you say hi? here I am. Oh, I get out of the way. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, he's amazing. 18 years old.
Wow.
Anyway, thank you. He just wanted to tell all of everybody that he's been channeling so much as a master beyond this world, and that he literally came to be here in this form to help open the doors, not only for me to get it, sort of, I'm asking him every day for that, but for everyone to open to what the animals are telling us. I've been here forever. Listen to me. We're no different from treating each other kind and generously. So this is what this is teaching us. And even though I think it might go beyond what we have coming down right now, the animals are the ones that are going to really guide us.
I agree.
You know how we get there. Sorry.
Yeah, just tell him don't channel any dogs.
Oh no, he don't channel dogs
It's
anymore. It's the dog that he had before was with me with is a golden retriever, and it swam in the seas, and he was going, I ain't going there.
No. Richard, what you got? Okay, you're unmuted now.
Okay. Back in October 1966, I bought my first motorcycle, a little Honda 50. And I moved up from then, and I had a couple of Kawasaki's, Kawasaki 350, 3-cylinder, 45 horsepower. And that's the one I had the longest. And I really enjoyed going around with that, having the freedom and the independence of the motorcycle. But after running out of oil one day, I gave that up. Seized the piston through a rod and ended up selling it. I do modeling for art classes at times, and that's really comforting and gets me to relax. There's no pretension or anything. I'm just there in front of the students, not wearing any clothing, you know, letting them draw me and just relaxing.
You know what? How in the world can you sit in one position for any length of time like that for folks to draw?
It takes practice. It takes accepting yourself, you know, not being worried what other people think.
Well, I wouldn't care about that. It's just being still that long.
Yeah, well, you have to pay attention to your own bodies and feel what you feel.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Also,
Start feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we get breaks about every 20 minutes or so. Usually the instructor will ask you if you're ready for a little break.
Cool.
So it's not that bad, although oftentimes we'll have to stand up. But in fact, I donated an oak staff to one of the college classes so that, you know, the students have, I mean, the models have something to lean on. That helps. In my previous residence, there was a grapefruit tree that I loved to go in and you know, trim little dead twigs off of and just help the tree along, you know. I got some a drip irrigation system for it, and I just love being in that tree and other trees around there, but especially the grapefruit. But since I had to move from there, things are different now, and there is a dog in the house that a Siberian Husky that's pretty young. That when she goes outside, I go inside, and I have to make sure that there's nothing in the backyard that she's gonna grab and haul around. So it changes my life. But nowadays, one thing I do to relax and comfort myself is chocolate. Organic dark chocolate when possible.
That's great. Love it. I love it. Everybody's saying, we want to go over to Richard's house. He's got the good chocolate.
Way to go, Richard. And
I stocked up.
Andrew, what you got?
Well, I've done lots. Unfortunately, I can't have chocolate anymore because my diet has changed in the past couple of years. So what I used to love, chocolate and cheese, because I'm part Swiss, I can't have them anymore. It's like, that's what I was gonna say. It might be a diet change that's going on for you as well, Cindy. I just, I just like to, it depends really. It depends where I am. Like when I was living in Switzerland, my mom's apartment that she inherited from my grandfather, she's right, like she has a view of the mountains and the valley because she's really high up in the Swiss Alps and the mountains are all around. It's so beautiful. Actually, I might have actually posted a picture of, I might have posted it on the Facebook group. A picture of Switzerland. That's what it is.
Oh, that's Switzerland. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I like, for me, I like going to the theater. I like going to the opera. I like watching TV because I'm an actor. I'm in entertainment, so I use that to numb whatever, just to just veg and do whatever. Read. It really depends. I just go with what my intuition is telling me, really. And I like to connect with people. Part of self-care is connecting with people because, like what we're doing right now, we're doing self-care because we want to have that community because we can't actually go see people, but we see it over Zoom. I ended up, did a Zoom call this morning to friends in London. A friend was having a Zoom connection call too. And she's helping out with the NHS there with bringing food and stuff. And so it's just, it depends. I just, I'm laughing. It's important to laugh.
Yes, yes.
And I wanted to mention to Mary, but she stepped away because she was talking about her cat. There's something I'll wait till she gets back and then I'll address it. I'll ask her because I wanted to know if she knew someone. Anyways, that's my thing.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
Bonnie here, and I have started to really enjoy climbing Chinese mountains.
Really?
In China, the ones that are amazingly high up, and they have these little amazingly small paths that go around them. This is a virtual climb, you see, a virtual climb.
Oh,
It's not a real climb, but
where is that?
on videos on YouTube and so on.
Okay.
They have these amazing tourist sites in national parks, and they're so high that you can't believe how high they are, but they have such dangerous paths that you can't believe anybody would survive either. But you see all ages climbing and making it. They make it up and they make it down.
Wow.
I enjoy it. It makes me, I don't know, it makes me feel alive or something, like, hey, there are things to be done that I haven't done,
And you can do it virtually without the
I can
danger.
do it virtually, yeah.
You know
Years
what would be really cool is if whoever is doing the camera work, when they get to the top, if they just pitch the camera over so you could do a virtual fall.
Well, yeah. It really would. It really would.
Wow.
I once told a class. I told a class I was teaching English in Turkey, and I told a class of mine that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to this certain mountain in China and climb it. This is about 10 years ago or 15 years ago, and I asked somebody to come with me. I asked who would like to volunteer to come with me, because I was seriously considering it at the time. And nobody.
Nobody did.
No, nobody wanted to, no. Anyway, I still enjoy just imagining that I'm there, actually. So I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I like it.
No, it sounds neat.
It sounds neat, and you've got this beautiful landscape that when you start doing a meditation, you can call on that. You know, that's great.
It's right. Of course, there's so many different vistas, and there's so many different states that, with different rock formations and different colors and different types of mountains. It's quite detailed. It's quite detailed, and I enjoy that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Cindy and I climbed the Bell Rock in Sedona, Arizona, a few years back. That was a real
Thrill.
It was a thrill. Cindy didn't like it too much, but I really enjoyed getting up there. And once we got to the top, she was okay. Getting up there was a little challenging for her, but we really enjoyed that.
There was one particular area where we had to squeeze through this rock, and a lot of people fell on the way down, where it was pretty steep. That's the part that really got me.
Be real careful there, yeah.
Cindy,
Yeah.
isn't there a place called Bell Rock, like in North Carolina or something, that you can just look and see 360 degrees? It's by the Appalachian, or the Appalachian Trail goes through there. I remember going up there one time. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
but I think there's
And
something there.
There's
either in
Rock Mountain
Tennessee.
too.
There's several
It
places.
just looked like a dome, and you can climb all the way up it.
Oh.
But I loved what she was saying about how you can do things virtually.
Mhm.
To me, when you're following your joy, if you want to travel the world, you can do that virtually.
Yeah.
You can do so many things virtually. You want to learn to cook, there you have YouTube videos. You have so many things nowadays that can just help you really explore everything you love to do, which is just, part of you following your bliss is just, okay, I'm stuck inside, but I want to go to Paris, let me go. I think that's wonderful.
That's beautiful. Okay. Bonnie, was there anything else that you wanted to share?
Not right now. Thank you.
Okay. All righty. And I'm going to grab my my plug for my computer real quick. And Ferris, why don't you go ahead and
Okay, who else?
get other folks to share?
Anne, how about you? Okay, whoops. Okay, you do it. There we go.
Okay, I did it, yeah. Yeah, the connection with these people on these calls, or when I call Mary, or people that are close to my heart, that feels very soothing. There's times that just feels good to talk and be heard and to hear. So connectedness has always been one of my big ones. Also, years back, I found just kind of like rocking when I'm in bed sometimes, and my mind's going. If I just kind of rock, it feels good. That's kind of going almost back to baby, I guess. Yeah, happy baby, yoga type stuff, yeah. So I think those are the main ones. When I was younger, I was sharing with Mary, I feel almost like a empty vessel of who I used to be. I used to have all this joy, and I used to go for walks and skip down the street. And I looked at pictures from the past, and I was so full of joy. I don't have that same level of joy anymore. And I miss it. That's it.
Okay.
You're talking about the same level of joy, and we can find joy in different things at different times. It's not going to be the same always.
Yeah, I miss the 3-year-old.
Yeah. And you mentioned rocking, and I'm a rockaholic. For those of you who see me on on during BJ's class, you'll see that I'm a rocking chair, and I try real hard not to rock, but I cannot write unless I'm rocking. I have to be in my chair, and I've got to be moving. I got to, because I'm a little hyper. It's really hard for me to sit still.
I don't have any problem.
The other thing I love is sleeping. I just love when I drop off and go to sleep. So.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
I'm all over the place.
With the sleeping. Oh, great. Thank you so much, Anne.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I tried sucking on my knuckle. That didn't do any good. I guess I've outgrown that. And I tried taking hot baths, and I like to get in a hot bath to relax, and then after about 3 or 4 minutes, I think, man, this sucks. It's hot. But tomorrow, I get to play with Jeanette's car. Cindy's Aunt Jeanette is having car problems, so I get to relax with that. And hopefully there won't be a whole lot of kids around, because then I can talk the way I want to while I'm doing it.
And Ferris, I was going to say, what soothes you the most is tinkering. You love to tinker. Doesn't matter what it is. He loves fixing things and tinkering and things, and figuring things out. He's pretty comfortable, but you're right. We got to stay away from you because the language is not always appropriate, even for my ears.
Can I just say one thing? There's been a lot of my friends from it doesn't matter where from. They're saying, what do we do if we can't shake hands? And I'm going, wait a minute. We haven't as always had to shake hands. The greatest thing that I feel that we can do is just peace. And so many people don't know what that means. It is the shaking of hands. It is the hello, goodbye, I love you, no matter what. And it's that easy. And I just thought I'd bring that in and see what you had to say about it, Cindy and Gary.
I would like him to respond to that because he's got a running buddy. And
I've got a running buddy that we've known each other for over, probably about 35 years, and we've been running for about 20 of those years together, and he's Indian. And when all this came about, when we met up, we didn't shake, so he did namaste, and he's got another Indian friend, both of them, we all did namaste to each other.
Yes.
So it was kind of neat. I enjoyed that. It took the
How
place.
do you feel about it now, though, Gary? Given the circumstances that are coming around, has it changed anything about how you feel right now, maybe?
A little bit. I actually met the CEO of the company I work for a couple of days ago, and she's fairly new to the company, and we've met in the hallway, and I introduced myself, and she said, well, I'd shake your hand, but we're not supposed to. And I said, well, you're right, we're not. So it's an uncomfortable feeling right now because it's so natural that when you meet somebody, you automatically want to stick out your hand.
That's what we've been taught.
Yeah.
But just doing this and saying peace or namaste, most people know what that is. And you could also do go ahead.
A lot of people don't go Cindy. A lot of people don't know what that means. They take it as something that is foreign to them. I have talked to so many people here in our country that it says, what do you mean? I'm not in prayer.
No. Namaste.
Namaste.
Yeah.
It can be expanded upon in
The
so
spirit
many
in
ways.
me honors the spirit in you.
Yeah.
Or
just
the
a
soul or the
smile.
person. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Well,
it.
my husband was asking about it this afternoon. He was going, well, I watched this really interesting thing, and I know we're not supposed to shake hands anymore. And I said, do you remember what we talked about the other night? And we just sort of did this. And he went kind of like this. And I went, well, you can open that or do whatever. Just understand that however you do it is okay. And so I'm just kind of asking you guys what you think.
You know what's so funny is that something so simple could be such a big deal to all of us.
I know, being blown out of the ocean of.
Well, I think that we, in this time, we want most people, about half, as far as I can see, about half the people want to acknowledge the other people,
That's
whereas
right.
before they didn't. They, I mean, we just passed each other, not even act like we don't see them, or just, see them and look away, whatever. But more people want to acknowledge each other now, and we really don't know quite what to do.
Agreed.
Because we were on automatic behavior before.
Yep.
We were on in automatic zone, and now we have to stop and we have to be conscious.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
If this isn't the divine at work,
What is?
Yeah, exactly. The planet is healing, relationships are healing, people are they have to move off that automatic behavior and start doing things a little different, which makes them go, huh? What do I do? It takes people out of their comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
You could even ask, one could even ask, like, how can I acknowledge you with Beth, if you see a person. Hi.
Wouldn't that be nice, though? I see what you're saying, Bonnie. Wouldn't it? But how do you say that to people that you're just meeting? Maybe you could. How do I acknowledge you? Maybe you could. I don't know.
When we sold the motorcycle, we just sold Sarah's motorcycle. Of course, she's not going to want to ride anymore since she's got a new baby. So when we met Bobby, the guy that we sold the motorcycle to, we just did the elbows.
I love that.
And I said, well, can't talk. He was from Kentucky and about as country as you get. Strong Southern accent, but he loved it. He just thought it was great. I said, so we'll do elbow. And then he offered his elbow to me when he was leaving. He said, let's do it, and it was just great. So it's a universal language.
It's a connection.
It was a connection. And I thought this guy was really, like I said, he was about as country as they come. And I just loved him. He was just a wonderful soul.
How can you stay 6 feet apart?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Well, at that time, it wasn't 6 feet apart, but we did do it from a distance. We were.
Okay.
Yeah. We had probably about 3 new neighbors move into the neighborhood. And as we were walking around, we just kind of said, hi. And we were like 6 feet away. And it was like, hi, I'm so-and-so. It's like, we live right there. Nice to meet you. And, they waved back. And, that's kind of like all you have right now. I think sometimes we make more of a big deal about it, but it's just a matter of just connecting.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how you do it or from what distance. Once you get to know somebody and you just connect with them, then from there on out, they talk to you. I walk around the neighborhood. I talk to everybody.
Me too.
And, it's just, to me, it doesn't matter if I'm 6 feet away or right next to them, I just still say hi.
Yeah, that's great. What were you going to say, Mary?
I'm just saying, just wanted to say, look at what we have as a community here every day. There's a part of us that get together. Not everyone, I understand from different areas of the world, the country, what the time frame, whatever, they're here with us, whether it's a replay or whatever. But we seem to have like a core of people that have been getting together every day. And look how it is evolving in terms of what we're sharing, what we're doing. And, I think I've told every single one of you on this panel that their faces are showing right now how much I appreciate you, because each one of you brings so much new feeling. And it's not information, it's feeling into my heart. Because right now, that feeling is where I'm at. Bringing it in and understanding. That's why I was so excited to see you tonight, Gary. I know, sorry, but
Yeah, it's great. And, you know, he's pretty shy kind of guy.
I'm the one behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But he hears that from women all
my
the time.
husband's the same, but sometimes you just have to say it in this beautiful group that we have. When you get together every day, it seems like there's something that touches, that's more familiar or whatever. We have some people here in this group that aren't in the other groups that we're in, Cindy, you know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we are in this group, and I can name, but I don't want to. I'm just saying thank you to all of you, because I feel every single day different by having the conversations with you guys. And I mean that. I don't have to tell you any more deeply.
And I agree with you. Very well said, Mary. I agree. It changes you. And how do I say it? Christ consciousness, the I am.
I love that.
Connection.
Yes.
Just is profound.
Profound. That's the better way of saying it, perhaps. It is the I am that I am.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So sometimes the recognition of the I am can be strengthened with the recognition of the you are.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to say that.
Thank you.
Well said. Who else would like to share?
You see what Julie wrote there?
Yes.
Walking along the beach, writing handwritten letters and listening to soothing music. And that brings up a question for me. There was a time long, long ago in a galaxy far away when I liked to listen to music. It was when I had to play records.
Yeah.
I never listen to music. I don't even want to listen to music now.
I don't either.
Why is that?
I think
I
it's just
sing though. I sing, and that's what makes the difference for me. But I don't listen to music either, Karis, because somehow or another I don't connect. I'm maybe like you, I'm just missing the connection of that music, and I love music. And when we talked about Hallelujah Chorus.
Mm-hmm. You mean Hallelujah?
Yeah.
Not the Hallelujah Chorus.
Yeah. We did both when I was
Yeah.
yeah, Hallelujah. It opened back up a part of me that had been closed for so long. And it is communicating like what you're talking, what you're saying. You know, just see you I love the way you touch your throat, because your throat is opening, is opened by what you've been saying these last few weeks. Then you guys see you nodding.
I'm not just choking me.
Well, it might be. That's what I love about this show. Just when you get to that point when you're, there we go. Oh, that's
Seriously, this.
Oh, I know. I know you, Ferris. So it's
this
okay.
is my touch point for some reason.
Me too.
Uh,
I have a thyroid issue, so I always go there to want to cover the little bump that's here, the little red place, the place where I feel like there's something wrong with me.
And that can also be the thymus too, because the thymus is connected to the whole stress response.
Yeah.
And, you know, the thymus thump, I'm sure all of you know, is one of the ways to calm your body. And you'll see babies do that naturally. When they learn to self-comfort, you'll see them and special needs children. It was surprised me when we did a photo shoot, how many of them just automatically did that. It was so cool.
You know, I just realized I do this instead of sucking on my knuckle.
I do too. I'm better.
That's my self-soothing.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's
you know,
read
our
some of the
hands.
comments over here, Ferris. Let's get to some of the
Yeah.
comments.
Enough of me.
What was that?
Enough of me.
Oh, no, this has been beautiful. Thank you. I just want to make sure we're not missing out on anybody. Let's see here. Julie says something self-soothing is long walk on the beach. She said writing, handwritten letters. I think we just said that, and listening to music. And then I feel soothed most of the time. I've learned it automatically and practicing the 12-step program of Emotions Anonymous for 33 years now.
Wow, 33
years, a long time. Long time, Marcia. It includes putting me first. And isn't that one of the hardest things that we have, facing ourselves?
Yeah, I'm a people person, and I used to like to please people so much that it's, you know, it's amazing because, you know, we like to give a lot of ourselves, but we also have to receive it, because the law of attraction is about giving and receiving. It's not just about giving, because if we give so much of ourselves, then we're going to be depleted ourselves of our own energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if anybody needs a really good book to get in touch with loving all of themselves, The Dark Side of the Light Chasers by Debbie Ford.
Mm-hmm.
That book will teach you how to love every single part of you. And the nice thing about that is once you've learned to love yourself totally, you get out of that judgment. You don't judge anybody, because it's just one of these wonderful books that just changes you from the inside out.
Yeah, I teach shadow skill classes, and she's one of my mentors.
Mm-hmm.
I did some classes with her years ago. She's great.
That was life-changing book for me. And also talking about the soothing, when your hands have so much energy, and each one of your fingers is a little portal of energy at the tips. So when you put it like on your heart, or, you know, if you have a headache, you put it on your head or whatever, those kinds of things is just your body's intuition wanting to send energy there as well. So, you know, it's when we start paying attention to really what's coming up for us, and we start noticing these things, sometimes, you know, we just are lonely or whatever, we put our hand on our heart, you know, we can give ourselves our own love and our own energy. It's really good.
Have you ever seen the homunculus? I think it's called the homunculus man. It's been a long time since I've studied that, but there is a picture where it'll show the most sensitive places on the body: fingertips, lips. The lips are really big, and I think the feet, most sensitive places. Not what most people think, but it's, you know, think about, there's more nerve endings here, and that's why a paper cut hurts like it does. It's also the most soothing. So beautiful. Okay, and please address how to, what's DO, self-care?
Do.
Oh, do. I thought it was acronym. I thought it was an abbreviation or something. How to do self-care. Okay, and not be depleted. I have some ways to do that. Does anybody have anything that they want to share? Bonnie?
No,
No, you were unmuted, so I thought you wanted to.
No, sorry.
I think when it comes to self-care, it's about doing what you love to do.
Yes.
Like things that you've done, like even stuff, like one of the things that I got into was the passion test, and it's about getting in touch with your passions and doing what you love to do, and rediscovering things that you did when you were younger, and go back into doing them, and maybe even trying something new that you've always wanted to try. I mean, it's, you know, it's amazing when you step outside your comfort zone. I mean, back in 2003, I never thought I would get to skydive, and I went skydiving on my birthday. in 2003. And oh my God, was that the most amazing experience of my life. I mean, so it's like, I mean, you'll never catch me bungee jumping, but skydiving, I'll probably do it again. But so like, so Julie, what I'm going to say for you is, you know, what do you love to do? Because everyone is going to be different with their self-care. We can give you ideas, but it's really up to you to go out there and, like, you know, and discover, maybe rediscover yourself, and, you know, and talk to your friends. I mean, do you remember what I used to like to do if you don't remember? And you know, having the conversation, getting on Facebook Live and maybe just sharing yourself and say, you know what, I've just discovered this. My mom, she's not good with technology. And I think I maybe mentioned it the other day. My brother had told her how to deposit a check using the bank mobile app. She never did that. And she was so joyed overjoyed. I actually, oh my God, I can't believe it. I did something. It's like, she was so happy. She learned something new. And she's like almost in her 70s now. So, but anyways, I hope that helps, Julie.
Yeah.
Julie,
Marcia says to Julie, I always ask myself, what would I do to make my young child, the child within him, feel safe, cared for, seen, important, etc. Would I give them, let me see, would I give them a treat once a week, like a hot bath or a chocolate?
I think something that's very important too is to speak your truth and be in truth with yourself. Don't do things out of obligation. Do it because you want to do it. If you're not really living in your truth, you're not really loving yourself, and you're not really doing self-care. So it's really important to be present and say, you know, what do I really feel? What would make me feel good right now? And just in the moment, just right now, not, 10 minutes, just right now, what would make me feel good? And then do it. And if you like it, keep doing it. If you don't, do something else. But being in your truth, to me, is one of the most important things, because you're not trying to do something to get somebody to like you. You're really getting in touch with your own feelings, and that's important.
I want to eat one of Richard's chocolates.
I love it. Okay, does anybody else have anything else they want to share?
Julie says, it's way too easy for me to take care of everyone else. And yes, thanks for all the great suggestions. Putting myself in the equation matters.
Good. And that is so true. I'm one of those people too that, I like reaching out to people. You probably noticed that about me. But taking care of myself is not always the easiest. And I have to make myself do it. I do. And one of the things that I have every morning that is very soothing for me is I have the chimes that we did the other day, the Koshi chimes, and I have them right in the living room. And even Gary will walk up and start playing them. And just doing that first thing in the morning just calms and centers me. And then if I hear any negative news, how many people have the coronavirus around the world and all this stuff, because I want to know. I don't want to be ignorant about what's going on in the world, but I also don't want it to affect me to where I'm angry all the time or in fear. So those chimes just are just a beautiful way to center me and calm me, so that when I'm hearing this, it kind of bounces off of me and doesn't penetrate into me. Does that make any sense?
I want to get a clock like Janice's.
What does Janice have? Let me get my...
I think it's a cat.
Oh, yeah, Janice.
And it's cool.
Yeah.
That is a clock, isn't it?
Cindy, you were saying about being in touch with what's going on without letting it affect you. And what I do is I will look at that too as well, because I want to know. But what I try to do is I just try to send this loving energy to all the people who have it. and, you know, just wish them peace and love, and, you know, just send good energy their way, and everybody else stay home.
Yeah. Great.
Oh, you're unmuted now, Janice. Is that a clock?
It is a clock.
It's neat.
Is that a kitty cat?
It's a kitty cat.
I
Yes.
love it.
Yes.
There, now I can see it. Oh, that is so cute.
Yeah, the only usually it's, you know, it's the Sylvester cat kind of thing, but this one's cooler.
Here's another self-soothing right here. Here's a self-soother. Yeah. Just hugging little critters. Playing with squeakies. Is that your, are you all about the squeaky? Is that your comfort?
Animals are at the top of my list.
Yeah.
As far as soothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And
Yeah.
I recently had to put down a very special cat about 7 months ago, and still breaking my heart. And of course, going through all of this now and being alone without him is even harder to get through. But top of my list, I called him my little Mr. Sunshine every day.
Have you thought about adopting another one?
I've given it thought, but my circumstances, where I live, and who would care for an animal if I were no longer here, and my age and health issues, all that got into it. And I just haven't gotten to the point where I can feel it's the right thing to do, at least right now.
Okay.
I get that.
Well, everybody, this has been wonderful. Is there anything else anybody wants to share?
I think everybody just needs to put on some music tonight and just dance around like a crazy person.
We
And
like
just
to do that
laugh.
too.
That makes me laugh so hard when me and Michael dance, because we can just be crazy. It's just fun.
Yeah, Gary and I like to do cool and strange things sometimes too. We have a lot of fun together. We're good playmates, aren't we?
Yeah, we like to do the same things.
Yeah.
Go to different places, adventure. We like adventures. That's our big thing.
Yeah, we like, me and Michael like adventures, and we love good food, and I love to cook, so we're always going, you know, London, Paris, wherever.
Great.
I wanted to say that I actually have been to China. I never thought I'd get to go to China, and it's you never know, you might end up going to China. I even went to the Great Wall of China and took a video of me dancing a bit on the Great Wall of China, which I have. I think I put it on YouTube. And I don't know if you guys are aware. You know the movie Avatar? Pandora was filmed at a Chinese national park. They turn it upside down to create Pandora. But yeah, so you know, just be open to your travels, because you never know when it's going to happen at unexpected moments, because it could happen sooner, or it could happen later. So who knows? Maybe a year from now you'll get to go to China. Divana wrote that her temperature was going up. I hope you're doing okay. Anyways, thank you so much. And I'm gonna
thank you for reading that. I was just scrolling back through and seeing who, and I just saw it, Divana. Make sure that you really watch it, Divana. Can you? I don't know if you can unmute yourself and just tell us what's going on.
Well, a few days ago, I was on the call with you guys, and I had put that my eyes were burning and my nose was burning. And I mean, it's kind of stayed that way. And then today, I'm just like, this evening, I'm starting to feel like, just don't feel right. So then I took my temperature and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's on the way up. That's not a good thing.
What other signs do you have?
I mean, that's it. I mean, I've been taking extra vitamin C pretty well. I've been doing it for months. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if you saw the other day I posted that I had broken my arm back in November.
That's right. How is your arm doing?
I mean, I got a long ways to go to get full use of it. long ways. I'm making progress, but not as fast as I'd like.
How about probiotics? Are you taking any probiotics?
Some of the supplements I take are fermented.
Okay, so good. You're taking probiotics.
One of the things that I really suggest, and they were saying this on the news, well, it's actually a medical report that I go to. They said, if you have a temperature, go get tested, period.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a temperature, go get tested. Do not wait. So I just thought I would pass that along. And, you know, you live by yourself, Devonna, and, well, not by yourself. You got all your critters, but, you know, but they're not going to be able to drive you to the doctors. So please go.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to happen to you.
And
Yeah.
your critters need you.
Yeah.
There's a medical doctor.
Well, good to see all of you. We don't want to take your entire evening up. This has been fun. Just something different. Do you want to do this again next Friday?
Sure.
Where we're talking about self-care. We can think about other things. And
Do I have to wear these pajamas again?
No, get some clean ones, Ferris.
They've been hanging in the closet for 14 years.
Wait a minute. We got to stand up and do the dance. I want to see the rest of this, Ferris. Not really, but.
now I want to say Ferris not a pajama person. So
Don't feel bad. I'm not either.
The last time I wore these was when I had my heart surgery in 2006.
Yeah. And
I hear you. Last time I wore these was the live Redskin game in Washington, D.C., and that's a long time ago.
And the only reason I had them is because Cindy went and bought them for me.
Well,
for the hospital.
If anybody's ever had pajamas from Soma, they're the most comfortable, softest things in the world, and I've got probably like 20 pairs. So I'm always in a different one.
That's great.
I just don't wear pajamas.
I
Yeah.
used to get pajamas from my great aunt in Switzerland when I was young.
I would always get
Don't
just
wear them.
booties. Well, booties and jammas usually for Christmas. But anyway, everybody,
Okay.
we're going to let you all go.
Bye.
And I love you all.
We will see
Tomorrow at 11, you guys.
Night, everybody.
Bye.
Love you. Namaste.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.